everybody, it's Collab Save Victory Roll. How's everybody doing today? Amazing, I hope. It is another video from your older than average YouTuber here on the YouTube. And can you believe it? It's August 1st and we are doing our monthly collab with Makeup Therapy. And if you want to see the palettes we're using, the look I create, you're in the right place. And you know what you need to do? You need to keep on watching. Okay, collab time again. So excited. I have already had a sneak peek of my name twins look because she had to film hers a little early because Lucky Gal is going on vacation and is in Poland. I am quite jealous. Saw a video a little while ago about somebody else who was traveling to Poland. I love a lot of history and I like the old buildings and churches and, you know, because where I am, our history doesn't go that far where I live, like for buildings and things, so I do love looking at architecture. So anyways, I'm a little bit jealous, so hopefully she'll have some good photos. So in our monthly collab, for this month, we picked the Linda Halberg Spectral Palette. So it is this one here. This is an oldie, but a goodie. I had actually bought this when I was part of Makeup Missa's patron group and stuff. There's one of the gals there I got this palette off of, because to get it to Canada, Linda Halberg, it gets a little pricey. But I was lucky to find this one from her. I've used it quite a few times, especially if I want something that's slightly pastel-y, and these are awesome, and the shimmer is really nice too. And then we are pairing it along with Cosmic Brushes Undergrowth. So excited! The Smolder palette is coming soon. I've already done my order. I cannot wait. As part of my no buy, I just said the one brand that I will not miss is Cosmic Brushes. So they've been really good at not pumping out a lot of stuff, which makes me really happy. So I'm quite excited for the Smolder palette. But we are playing with Undergrowth, and it is this bad boy. And I think, and you'll see the color story I'm going for, you can see that these two together are gonna work. So let's create a look. I'm a little bit blonder than last time. I finally toned my hair. I did a bleach bath and toned my hair, so now it's a little bit more towards blonde. It's still a little bit of darkness on the ends, but it's more of a blonde than it is an orange, so we're happy with that right now. Now it's just all about trying to condition my hair and take care of my hair, because what we're trying to do, because my natural hair color is pretty light, so we're trying to see what we want to do as it's growing out, and having black hair and lighter roots come in always looks really weird and looks like I'm losing my hair. Hate it. So I was always spraying in my hair between colors, so I think this is going to be the right move for now. So let's play here. So we're going to use our regular primer. We're getting close to the end, so I think it's going to be pretty soon we'll be needing to open another one. I think it may be Juvia's Place next. For a regular primer, I do have some colored ones open, but anyways, this is the P. Louise. So as always, it's Rumor 2, so we're going to pop on a little bit of that. And then, so what I was thinking, I was watching, Wilma just did a drag queen approved video using the new Beauty Moon palette, Medusa. Oh my gosh, is it such a beautiful palette. I really want it, but I am trying to be good. I've cut out a lot of spending, especially in makeup and some other things. Clothes, stuff like that, but lady heads are still calling me. I ended up buying two at a vintage market that we go to. We went to the first one last year, so we went to the second one this year, so we will trying to slow that down, but it's almost, market season's almost over, so because it's already August, so if I don't go to any more, hopefully I won't be tempted by any more, because I am definitely trying to put my money to bills and hopefully at some point saving for a trip. I did renew my passport finally. That costs some money too, which sucks, but I got a 10-year one, so you pay a little bit more to have a passport longer instead of renewing it every 5 years like they're renewing it every 10. I don't think I look that much different from the last time I got my passport done, so there we go. Alrighty, so we are primed and ready to go. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a lighter color on top, and I think I might do darker on the bottom. Wilma did this great look. Again, we're talking about the Beauty Moon. She's doing the Drag Queen approved for the Medusa palette. So cool. I really like the swoop that she did with darker colors and then some nice darker shimmers. It looked really, really good. I really like it, but it was kind of light in the middle. But I thought I might do, because I do love these grungy colors. So I think what I might do is take some of these pastel ones. We're going to focus on the two greens, and I think I may use the silver for an inner corner, and then we're going to do the rest of the eye with the undergrowth palette. So what I'm going to do is start with the shade Phantom, and another thing that I need to do shortly is wash some brushes, let me tell you. But I've been using a lot of greens recently. Color me surprised. So these should be easy to clean off to use. So there we go. So again, this is the green one, a Phantom. And yeah, so I was out at that market yesterday with my friends. It's the Vintage Pasture sale. It's out in a brewery, so I ended up being a little bit late, and the word has got out on this vintage sale because it was packed. So we ended up starting at the end and moving forward to try to escape a little bit of the hordes. I'm just always worried that because I only collect a couple things now. Everything else I'm not starting any new type of or trying not to start any new collections. So I just want to get my things. So luckily, my friend Corinna got to that booth just before me and was like, over here, over here, over here. So I found the two lady heads that were the only ones that I saw the whole time there. There was one that was like a kids one, but I don't really collect the kids type ones. So yeah, so that's all I bought there. Corinna picked up a couple really cool vintage carpet pillows with cats on them. So she has some dog. I found and told her that she needed to buy a really cool dog one last time. And in her living room is kinds of with shades of like gray and red. So lots of red accents. So to find some more of the red kind of vintage pillows is really cool. And then I think that's all she might have bought there. Because again, we're both only collecting certain things. There was a lot of beautiful things. If I wanted to start new collections or build on things that I only wanted one or two of previously, I could have gone crazy. Luckily, my walls are pretty much filled, so there's a lot of art that was really, really nice, but I opted not to be pretty much a pretty good girl. And then the night before, I had noticed on Marketplace, because I just bum around on Facebook Marketplace sometimes and see what they got going on. I was looking for a new espresso maker. And then I found that there was somebody that was about 10 blocks away from the sale was downsizing a lot of her vintage stuff. So she was having a garage sale. So we went to that after. And she was literally on the price to sell. My friend had already bought stuff from her previously. She didn't notice until we got there. She didn't quite recognize the address, but she's like, I've been here before. So I got these chartreuse couple here. I got them she offered $8. I gave her 10. I have one little beautiful Asian lady here that used to be part of a pair. They were bookends, and my friend worked in a vintage store, and the one was broken. A customer had broken it, and they had the one, and then the owner was like, what am I going to do with just one of these? I guess this is going to be just another piece I'm going to have sitting around. And my friend was like, nope, I'll know somebody that wants it. So sure enough, there it is. So she's sitting on top of a pile of vintage books, and then yeah, they were really cute. The type of green wasn't quite what my friend wanted because she bought a couple of different ones. So I was like, you know what, I think they're really cute, and I think that would just finish off that little book place area. If I remember, I'll pop up a picture of the front of it, but I thought that would kind of finish off that area there. And then for $10, it's not a huge take out of my budget. And then we went for lunch at a diner. So we like to go to a 1950s diner because we were in Langley, so we thought we might as well go. So there we go. There's the first shade kind of placed. I'm going to blend that a little bit to soften the edge. So yeah, so we went to the diner, and then near the diner is my friend needed some scrubs for work, and then there's also a place called Penny Pinchers. So it's like a little thrift store run by one of the hospitals. And every once in a while you can find vintage treasures in there and just other things. And then, so we decided to go in there. My friend works for the SPCA, and then for the cats and puppies, they like, especially for cats so they don't get acne, they like to put their food on porcelain plates, or ceramic plates, but they get broken quite easy. It's just the big problem is sometimes it's under a blanket, and then when they go to pull out the blanket, the plate goes flying. So I can always find a pile for like 50 cents. So I picked up some plates for her. I found a couple books. And I was, what did I do? Yeah, I bought a couple books. Oh, I found a mug that might be a gift for somebody. And then I was contemplating getting a new blender, because mine is a vintage one from the 70s that I got from my mom. And just, you know, just with age and stuff, the knife inside and the ring inside was starting to weaken. So they had one that nobody even used for $12, a brand new one. So I got a new blender. So it's always good to try and not always buy everything new. So there we go. So again, we've got that first color laid by Linda Halberg. This is, I've had this palette for quite a few years now. I think it's one of the first color palettes that she did. So it's a little long on the tooth, but the color is going on beautifully. It doesn't smell like anything, so I'm not worried about it going bad. And then I'm going to take, so the other green shade in here is a shimmer. But these shimmers are very, except for the silver, are very, very light. So I thought that might be nice to blend on the top a little higher up. So I'm going to use that same little brush because it's nice and pointy. This is from AQA, so that's where you get everything for $1. I was going to do an order a little while ago. They always have some interesting things that you can try. And everything I've tried from there has been good, like makeup-wise, skincare, brushes. I think there's not been a thing I didn't like. But shipping has changed so much the last little while that with the shipping, even for that price, it wasn't really worth it. So I ended up backing out. But still have a few things left over. So there we go. We can add a little bit of lightness and then a little bit of shimmer. Because at this point, we're also close to the brow bone. So how about a little bit of shimmer? Yeah, so since we were, so then we did that, and then it was, by that point, the time I think we got here was like 2:30, so I drove for that part, my friend drove my other friend here, so it was like 3 of us, and they went home, and then I started setting up all my stuff, and I used my blender to make a mango and blueberry smoothie. There we go. So that is very nice. So now we're going to put the silver on later. So we're going to go into the undergrowth palette. So there we go. As always, I hope you've followed Makeup Therapy. If anybody watches these videos, I always do this for fun, so I don't care. I haven't been posting as much because I've been just trying to, because like I said, this is for fun, to post when I feel like it, when I have time, when I'm not rushed, when I have something to chat about. I thought that would be the perfect time to film. And I know this from my last video, maybe 9 people watched it. It's all good. So I probably won't be upping my filming game, but I do have a couple new palettes on loan, and I have the Cosmic Brush Spolder coming. So there are a few fun videos that should hopefully come shortly. So we did the lighter shades there. So I'm going to start with the bottom now and just bring a darker shade here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the one here that is called a Nettle. So we're going to go into Nettle, and I think that's the one we're going to use along the lash line and to bring upwards. And do I have another thin brush? Yes. So I thought we can do that. And then this one is a C color brush. I like this one too. It's just, if you want to put in something light, a light thinner line, that's good for that. Where did I just put my, oh, there it is. So for I got dressed up to go for, because it was a vintage sale, so I put on a vintage inspired dress, put my hair up in victory rolls, and so I've been so excited about the new Cosmic brushes. I used the Cool Trolls palette and some of their blushes and lipsticks and did another look, which is on my Instagram of my look for the market. The other week I went to a car show. We had a local car show. We had a whole bunch of people that were supposed to come. We thought it would be more than it was, but it was pretty small. So my one friend and her family left before we even got there. It was way too small for them, and it wasn't enough to keep them entertained until we got there because my one friend was running a little bit late. And then, so we told our other friend not to bother because they were saying it was so small. But then me, Karina, and my friend Jackie, we met up with her and we went. And it was small. There was maybe 25 cars altogether. But there was a nice trailer there. So we ended up chatting with some people. So what was nice about the smaller car show was the fact that we actually could talk to people. So we could talk to people about their cars. One guy had the coolest van. Like, it was, yeah, so we ended up having a good time. I think we stayed about an hour chatting to all the people, and then we went for brunch. So it's been a bit of a vintage life the last week or so, which is really nice. I kind of miss doing all the pinup stuff, but the panini kind of stopped a lot. A lot of people that I used to know that used to do pinup don't do it anymore. The one lady, though slightly problematic, that used to put together a lot of the pinup stuff is no longer in it as well. She became a little hippy dippy from what I hear. So she does more new agey type stuff, which is, you know, I think I went through that stage in my early 20s. So whatever floats your boat. So there's been less pinup stuff. Two of the pinup stores that I used to frequent, they've closed down. So it's been rough. I don't know if it's the same in the US. I know Viva still does really well, and I know I still follow a lot of girls that still do a lot with it, but I definitely do see a lot less, and a lot of girls that I used to interact with don't do it anymore, or very infrequently. Alrighty, that's really pretty. I like that color. So again, that is Nettle. So that all said, because I had such a busy Saturday, I thought, and I did all my chores on Friday, so laundry, changing sheets, cleaning the bathroom, that sort of stuff. I thought I could film today and then have a lazy day. Maybe watching some movies or something. So there we go. So that's the first of these shades from Undergrowth laid. Now I'm going to pick, I think, one more, and then for a little bit on the lid, but we're going to leave kind of the middle there to put something bright and shiny here. So I think for the next shade, this is so straight and this isn't. So what's going on here? Or is it just wrinkly eyeballs? Yeah, I think it's just wrinkly eyeballs. Oh well, it is what it is. Okay, so for the next shade, let's see, do we want to go way lighter? Yeah, let's go up a couple shades. I was looking at the shade called Murky here, but I think I'm going to up it, and we're going to go to Fern as the next shade here. So we're just going to lighten one more up. So let's go into Fern. So I think we both did quite a different look, which is nice. Every once in a while, we're kind of close in color story. I think we were last month for July's, but I think we're a bit different for August. Can't wait to see the video. I just saw a picture. You will have too. It's in my cover picture of the video, but seeing it on video is a lot different than seeing it in photos for sure. Alrighty, so there we got that next shade. So I am going to do the one lighter green that's in here, and I'm going to do it along the bottom there. And this is the one that is called Herbarium or Herbium. Maybe it has an A in front of it, so Herbium or Herbarium. I don't know. Interesting. So we're gonna go into that. So again, it's kind of like the minty green. I'm just gonna do that along bottom there, and then we will pick something shimmery. Okay, so now let's find something shimmery. So we were thinking for the inner corner, I think we are going to stick with the silver because it is nice and bright. bright. So we're gonna go, it is called Halogen. Hold on, let me get the rating is fading out a little bit. Illusion. So we're going to take a little bit of Illusion and then we're going to stick that in there because this is the spectral palette. So Illusion fits in the theme. No, I didn't put anything under the waterline. Let's actually go into the first shade we used, Phantom, and let's bring that along the waterline, I think. Might build that up a little bit later. Okay, so for the shimmer, I did bring a little, is it Berry M Glitter Fix? I think we are gonna go, we have so many beautiful shimmers in here. I keep hitting this and getting happy faces. Okay, so many beautiful shimmers. We're gonna stick to, of course, the green. This one is called a Vegetation. This is a light to greenish one. Then we have Wilderness, which is kind of a goldy one. There's more kind of goldy ones in here, like here's Fireflies and bronzy ones in the shimmers. So I think we are going to go with the Vegetation. So I think that's the one that we're going to use. So I'm going to take a little bit of the Glitter Fix. Oops. Popped right out. It was in a hurry. So there we go. So it's a little bit of inspo from the Wilma one. Alrighty, so now let's go into, oh, Undergrowth was a bit greenish too. I didn't see that one. Ooh, that's a pretty one. But let's start with Vegetation and see what we think. We can always add a darker one if we like the darker better. Yeah, that's a really pretty shimmer. So I need to jump back into Nettle. Got a little shimmer on there. Maybe we will add some more shimmer. Let's go into the shade that is, where did I put it? Undergrowth. Let's add a little bit of that. Okay. So I have somewhere here. I have my little Sephora stick here with the green, so I'm going to use that inside the waterline here. Did bring a eyeliner, but I don't think I need one. I think having the liner with the shadow might be good enough. Alrighty, so before we finish stuff like mascara, let's play with blushes, and I have some lipsticks. So I brought out, so this is from About Face. This is probably the first time in a long time where I'm going to be panning a blush. These used to be all domed up. It is like flat to the bottom. I love this cream blush formula or balm formula. It's Cheek Freak. This is the one called Raunchy. I definitely will maybe try another color if I find, there only seems to be one Shoppers Drug Mart where I've ever seen that carries About Face, so I might even get the same color again because I really do like this. So anyways, if I want to go more peachy, we do have that one. And then I also brought out, because I bought it through Poshmark for my birthday, because I have been looking at it for a long time, I have these blushes as well, and they're so nice. So the Lunar Beauty came out with one that was very pink, and then one was very peachy. And because I was liking this so much, I was leaning more towards these peaches, or the pinky peaches type shades. So I think we're gonna do both. I forgot to bring my favorite sponge, but we'll do a little bit of this, and then we'll add a little powder on top to set. So I do have a brush here that I can use, however, since I forgot my sponge. So we're just gonna go into this dense brush there. And then let's pop in a little bit of this cream shade. Definitely like using it with a sponge a little bit more, but it's okay. I don't feel like getting up and changing it. It's a really beautiful color. You can build it up however you like, or you can just have a little flush of color. So let's have it placed, and then I'm going to blend it out a bit. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to set it with a little bit of the one from here. I've been really liking the one in the middle here, which is also the super peachy shade, and it is called Twilight. So we're going to go in with Twilight. As I said, I've been really liking that, and it's a very close to that shade in here, I think. Okay, there we go. And then we need a little highlight, of course. So I have the frosting one from Cosmic Brushes, Cosmic Beauty. And then it comes in 3 shades: Blueberry Muffin, Cinnamon Swirl, and a Golden Apple. And I've really been liking this Blueberry Muffin one, so I think we'll go into that. I think, though, the Cinnamon Swirl is quite nice too, but I think we're going to go a little Blueberry Muffin. I know we don't really have any blue in the color, but then once it's blended in, it just has a nice slick look. And you do have silver in the middle there. Okay. Look at that. Oh, it's such a beautiful highlighter. Alrighty, and then for lips, I have 3 different ones from Christian Audette. So I have the one in the shade called Hocus Pocus, which is this shade here. It's really pretty. And then I have the shade here that is called Puffin. If you know, you know. This kind of orangey shade. And then I have the shade that is called Good. Oh, there we go. I think, I'm leaning towards this one with maybe a little bit of that, with a little bit of puffin in the middle. So why don't we go with Hocus Pocus. I'm just going to make an orangey shade, and then we're just going to add a little bit of Puffin, which is a brighter one, in the center. There we go. Custom shade. All right, so I'm going to finish my hair, put on some mascara, and we'll be right back. And there we go, a final look. We took down her hair, put in some earrings. I did give a buff and a spritz just in case. And there we go. So that is our monthly collab with my name twin Makeup Therapy, and using the Spectral palette by Linda Halberg and the Undergrowth palette by Cosmic Beauty. So there we go. This is the look we created. A little bit of fun, a little bit of green, and then I got some bling here made by my friend Odette for me to go with this. So there we go. Oh. Need to get rid of that though. So anyways, that's it for me today. If you like this video, please give it a like, comment, and subscribe, and maybe hit that notification bell. That'd be great. Also, don't forget to check out my name twin, Makeup Therapy. And as always, behave, make good choices, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye.